Hi everybody, I'm Aliana Jacobs, an artist from Belgium, and today I'm going to show you my oil painting collection from the art classes I took. We first started with some basic shapes, and those are fruit and vegetables. We had to bring our own organic fruit or vegetables to our classes and start painting them. Lemon painting. The first one are two lemons as you can see it. It was displayed on a pink cloth, and for my first time painting lemons, I'm quite satisfied with the result. Keeping the yellow pure was a difficult thing. If you blend in another color, it gets quite dirty and you won't have the pure color anymore which you need for the highlight. Also note that the yellow is one of the slowest drying oil paints I ever had to deal with in this class. The red bell pepper. The second painting is a red bell pepper. I had quite a fun time making this one. The drying time was not that slow, and red is really one of my favorite colors. I love how everything comes together and it looks really like the vegetable, and even the highlights are there. I am happy with this one, and I'm glad that it didn't turn out as bad as I thought it would be. For my first time, it's quite okay. The bedroom. After painting some vegetables, we were confronted with perspective. We had to find an image that would interest us, and it has to be 2-point perspective. Oh boy, I had a hard time making this one. Trying to start perspective while you really don't draw perspective that much is quite a pain in the ass. I found myself struggling with this one. Going back and forth asking the teacher for feedback. She was very helpful and she told me what my mistakes were, and she taught me a lot. I'm grateful for such a great teacher, and I'm not scared of perspective anymore. The kitchen. The second painting is a kitchen in 1-point perspective. It's a brown kitchen. Mixing brown on brown was really hard, getting all those different shades. Getting the shiny details to the metal and the highlights on the black surface is difficult. It took me 2 weeks to finish this one. In the end, going through all the struggle, I finally made it, and I'm proud of it. Upside down painting. Then our third environmental piece. Our teacher told us that we were going to paint it upside down. Why would you ask? That's a good question. This is an exercise of not paying attention to everything. So you don't look at the entire scene anymore and think, I know how a room looks like. If you think and know what you see, it's more likely that you don't look at your reference and assume that you know everything. That's why we have to paint it upside down, so that you don't assume. You will look at the painting with different eyes. This scene is from a Chinese movie called Curse of the Golden Flower. Why did I pick that? Because I love fighting movies and the scenery was amazing. I really loved it, even though there are so many details. And yeah, I kind of regret that decision. I made it myself more difficult. Why do I do this to myself? When I started, I was full of excitement. But midway takes a lot of you painting all those details. But luckily we managed. Well, after 3 weeks, I finally finished it. Painting the yellow cloth. After painting environments, we were looking at various cloth items. The teacher told us that we had to paint folds. Oh boy, yellow again. Yellow isn't my favorite color to paint, because the dry time is ridiculously slow. But then she gave me linseed oil. I didn't know what to do with it at first, but it helps you speed up the dry time of the color yellow. Oh, this made my work so much faster and I got excited. Finally, there's a light in the end of the tunnel and I completed my work. The purple cloth. The second was a purple cloth. Yeah, purple. I love this color. This time it went so much faster than the yellow cloth, and I had a great time making it. I also like the background. The pinkish color is really beautiful. It makes the purple color stand out, and I'm really happy with the result. The see-through green cloth. The next challenge would be painting see-through cloth. I had no idea how to start with this one. Apparently our background, the underground base that is covered with gesso, has to be painted with black acrylic paint. It really dried so fast compared to oil painting. It's awesome. We had to paint green cloth on top of it. I had to start building the outline, but you can't see much of it because of the black acrylic paint. So you had to make sure that the general shape is already there, even though you can't see it that much. The hardest thing was the highlights. I had to squint my eyes several times to see them. Once it was finished, I was quite happy with the result. The blue cloth. The blue see-through cloth follows the same steps for preparing with your base. First there's the gesso and then the black acrylic paint on top of it. The painting technique is similar to the previous one, although this cloth is a bit thicker than the previous one. You can see a lot more blue shining through the black acrylic paint base, and this is the result. I'm quite happy, and I feel like I'm getting better at this stage. The scarf. Last but not least is a scarf that I brought from home for the last session of painting cloths. The grandmother of my husband made this for me, and I found it an interesting texture. She knitted it for me and had a great time painting it. Going through the obstacles from the previous cloth paintings that I have painted, I was able to paint this one with ease. I had learned a lot, and as you can see from the details, I'm quite satisfied with the result, and hopefully next time it will be good too. Metal objects. The water cooker. After painting cloth, we were going to focus more on objects that are shiny. Metal objects with a highlight. We had to bring some kitchen tools to our class. I chose my water cooker since I like drinking tea. This provides us with a new challenge. When you paint metal objects, they have certain highlights that bounce off, and depending on where you put them and your source light and the light that comes from the area you are in, you have to put all those factors in the painting. I had a great time making this piece, and the colors are playing off on each other. It took me a while to finish it, roughly 2 weeks, but I'm happy with the result. Another piece finished. Large machinery. The next task or challenge we have is painting a large piece of machinery. Since my husband worked on large robots, I asked him to take a picture of the robot he was working on. I took that image as an example, and everything I learned from perspective, how to put the reflections on metal, I put it all in once. And this is the result. It's a cooker robot arm, and it weighs a lot. Our last assignment is a subject of choice. Some chose abstract, others expressionism, and I chose surrealism. For my piece, I chose surrealism because I wanted to paint something illogical and have a dreamy state. I love desert scenes and an old tree called Pinus longava. It's one of the oldest trees in the world. I fell in love with the weird details on the trunk. That's how I made this art piece. I also wanted to include some fur from sheep, pretending that they are rocks that you can sit on. At the back, where the green is, are some melons. I just included that in case you get hungry, because I love food. The blue details on the ground are just pebbles, and the sky, I made it dreamy to contradict the conditions of dream and reality into one. I wanted to end my year with a peaceful scenery with absurd objects from the daily life. Wow, that was a lot of talking. I quite enjoyed explaining my artwork. I usually don't talk that much. I usually paint or sit somewhere sketching. I hope you guys had a great time listening to me, and if you have a question, you can ask me in the comment section. Thanks for watching, and hopefully see you next time.